jazz harmonization. Whether you're looking to grapple with the basics or on the path to true jazz cat status, these techniques can help you grow as a composer, performer, and musician. Let's have a look. There are 5 basic tips I'd like to cover. The first one's more of a prerequisite, which is basically make sure your melody and harmony are compatible and work well together. Let's look at this melodic excerpt, which has the lead sheet chords above the staff. Did you hear the clash? These notes don't get along. If we can alter the harmony to better support the melody, this moment can function better.
I'm not talking to you.
Changing the D to match the E flat in the melody makes the chord a B flat 7 sus 4, and now sounds like this. If this type of harmony, the sus chord that is unfamiliar, there are many great resources out there that cover chord types. If you have a real book, you might find a chart covering these types of chords on the first or last pages of the book, like you see here. The second element is to know your diatonic chords and how they generally function. Each numeral corresponds to the diatonic 7th chord built on that scale degree. The most common progression in jazz is the motion from 2 to 5 to 1. The other chords generally function as shown here, although there are many exceptions. Notice how the circle of fifths motion comprises the bottom line. This general progression is quite common, from 3 to 6 to 2 to 5 to 1. Here is how these numerals translate into the diatonic chords in B flat major. These first 2 techniques illustrate diatonic items, that's harmony within the key. But what about chords outside of the key, chords that are chromatic? Let's take this excerpt here, which is in E major. It starts on the tonic chord and moves to the 4 chord, A major 7. How can we make the arrival at the new harmony sound more satisfying? Well, one of the simplest solutions is to use a secondary chord that targets the A major 7 chord. Here we simply go down a perfect 4th, or up a perfect 5th if you'd like, and create a major minor 7th chord or dominant 7th chord on that note. The result is an E7. You can see that the chord targets A major 7. Now, since this chord has the same root as my initial harmony, I'm going to add a flat 9 on top to give it more of a distinctive character. The flat 9 is also a subtle use of modal borrowing, as the F natural is taken from A minor, the parallel minor of my target chord. Technically, you could use a secondary diminished chord as well, like G sharp diminished 7, but secondary dominants like the one we just used are generally more common in jazz. What if I want to emphasize the A major 7 even further? I can use a related 2 to the E7 that I just built. If I repeat the process going down a perfect 4th now from E, I can create a momentary 2 chord, which is B minor 7. Now we have a 2-5-1 progression that targets A. A is the 1 in this hypothetical scenario. One problem does arise, however, which is that my melody note is not supported on the B minor 7 chord, since G sharp is not in the chord. To help with this, I will make the chord a B minor 7 add 13, since the added 13th is a G sharp. The last tip I want to cover is tritone substitution. Let's talk a little bit about guide tones first. Guide tones are the 3rd and 7th of the chord, and they provide the quality and color of the harmony. If I take the guide tones and extract them from the chord, seen here in orange, we can see that they form a diminished 5th. If I simply flip these notes, putting the lower note on top, I have another diminished 5th after I respell it using enharmonics. So if this new diminished fifth serves as the guide tones of a new dominant 7th chord, what would it be? It would be B flat 7. You can see that the guide tones simply trade spots and the chord root is moved by a tritone. Thus, I can substitute the B flat 7 in place of the original E7, assuming the melody fits within it. It now sounds like this. This principle also works with the sus4 chord we saw earlier. With the 4th working in place of the 3rd, flipping these tones makes a perfect 5th. They then become the 3rd and 7th of an E major 7th chord, and that sounds like this. With all of these techniques now at my disposal, I can make my passage sound a lot more musical. Let's take a look at that. Let's keep our new tritone substitution, but add the related 2 to the B flat 7, which is F minor 7. I like this one best because it uses some chromaticism, but not too much. It has some chord extensions, but doesn't employ them arbitrarily as a means to show off. Let's compare this new version to the one that we started with at the very beginning. I hope you can listen for and practice some of these techniques on your own. For more of these videos and Level 99 Jazz Cat, please be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.